The world of HR is constantly evolving, and let's be honest, so should you. That's why here at Factorial, we're bringing you a weekly dose of HR tips and best practices, but in easily chewable tablets. We're here to give human remedies for human problems. So without further ado, it's time to take the HR tip. I don't think it's possible to interview a disgruntled, demotivated, and otherwise upset employee in any organization without actually hearing the following sentiment. We have poor communication skills. If you've ever experienced what it's like to suffer through poor communication from a leader, you know that many things can occur. Mistakes, bottlenecks, disappointments, and even costly business mishaps. This makes things so difficult on every level, and unfortunately, not enough leaders actually understand when they're not getting their own way. So, what can we do when we're not in the position to say, "Hey everyone, our communication skills kind of suck"? Well, we can set an example and make change around us. So, let's take a quick look at this. As soon as your business has more than 5 employees, you should actually think about the best way to manage communication in all directions. If you're all sitting at one bank of desk or in one workshop, you may not think it's necessary, but things can go wrong with communication very easily and surprisingly often. Believe me, even when everyone is working in the same room. By the way, fellow subscriber, the terms up, down, and sideways used here are not intended to actually imply a rigid hierarchy with employees, differentiality doffing their caps to you, but merely as directional arrows in the flow of communication. Okay, let's look at the different forms of communication. So, communicating up, from employees to you. Even if you are very approachable and open to being interrupted, employees will sometimes need to tell you confidential information or ask you questions that they don't really want everyone to hear. Make it a normal thing to meet your employees on a one-to-one basis, even if it's just, 10 minutes once a week. If it's not practical to regularly meet all of your employees individually, give them a channel of communication that they can use, such as a regular time slot or a lunch hour when you are always available in a meeting room, access to a computer at work to send you an email, an open door policy where any employee can come to see you anytime, your work mobile number, or an old-fashioned suggestion box where employees can put their comments or raise questions, a survey online or an online feedback website. All of these things, as I said, listening is very important. So part of a great communication is this. So if you give your employees these channels to communicate with you, just try to make sure that you actually listen to what they have to say. So, communicating down, from you to the employee. There should be 2 kinds of communications flowing from you to the employee. The information that applies to the whole team, the information that is specific to the individual employees. So when you are considering the best method for this communications as well as the audience, you should take into account a couple of things. Your statutory obligations as an employer, whether you actually need a written record to the meeting or a communication, the confidentiality of the information, in particular any data protection issues, also your external reputation, any collective agreements you may have with the employee representatives, and last but not least, communicating sideways or across the team. Even as a small team needs to pay attention to communication, so people can have the information that they need to make decisions, solve problems, and actually deliver results. The role of the team leader in sideways communications is to enable it by setting up regular team meetings and ensuring that people actually share information. Also encouraging people to talk to each other regularly between meetings and in the hallways. Ensuring that everyone in the team has access to the information is also very important because they need that from the team leader. Providing guidance is also, especially when it's about issues that could escalate. And yeah, so these are the basics on actually communicating with everyone in your business. So let's see. No matter whether you sit in a cubicle or in a corner office, you can be the change you wish to see and the influence that those above should have, below and also beside you on the organizational chart. When done right, communicating actually helps keep everyone aligned on a common purpose, establish clear expectations, and engage employees. It enables you to actually track progress, reinforce positive performance, and realign and improve unsatisfactory performance. In fact, getting good at defining winning behaviors and constantly aligning everyone to them through ongoing communication also, it's what separates the winners from everyone else trying to play catch up in today's world. So subscribe to our channel and stay up to date with the latest remedies to help keep your company as healthy as possible. Share your thoughts with us in the comments, and thanks for tuning in to HR Pills. See you next week for your next dose.